Joining us in the kitchen today, we have Lynton Tap. Now, mate, from what I can see, something Asian. Asian influence?
Absolutely. So my background is Northern Territory. This is top end. We have a massive Southeast Asian influence.
That's what I was going to say. It's big up there, isn't it?
It's incredible. You go to markets there and, well, I haven't been to Southeast Asia, but that's my example of it. It's so, you know, the freshest ingredients grown within like 10, 20 minutes of all the markets. They pick all the ingredients the day before, bring them in and sell them, and you barter with them. They're talking old Thai ladies, Vietnamese ladies. It's absolutely incredible. So this is where this comes from. The salmon, not so much Northern Territory, but it's everyone's favourite table fish, isn't it?
You can't really go wrong with salmon. No. It's really forgiving as a home cook.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we forget that the top end of Australia it's part of sort of Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
We're Australasia, we're an Asian country, we're in that Asian ring.
Absolutely, and our climate up there is tropical, so we grow as much bok choy as you could poke a stick out, eggplants, zucchinis, you know, everything you could think of grows there, and so naturally it lends itself to those sort of recipes. So this is what I've done here. This is a one pot wonder, so I'm just going to start it off with the very basics, you know, some sautéed shallots. I'll get you to do that.
I love one pot wonders.
It makes it so easy. Like there's a little bit of prep, you know, chopping up your ginger and shallots and chili.
Talk to me about prep and how the importance of it, because every time I have another chef in the kitchen, I like to reinforce how important prep is.
Yeah, the prep's the most important part of the whole thing. If you get all your ingredients, like look at this, I've prepped this up earlier and we're just going to put it in the pot and it's done.
Two biggest cardinal sins people make at home: they don't season when they're meant to, and they don't prep. Yeah. And it gets away from them a little bit. And that was the biggest learning I think I got out of MasterChef, and I'm sure you would be the same, is the importance of seasoning, the importance of prep, and how important, probably those two things, and then also working clean.
Yeah. You know, clean bench, clean mind, as they always say. And it's exactly the same in the kitchen. You know, getting into the technical side of things, they talk about knolling. So, you know, I notice you're doing it as well, but everything around my chopping board is square. You know, you become a bit almost OCD. Yeah. Everything has to line up at right angles.
I'm the same. Everything has a little place in it, and everything, well, mise en place is everything in place.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that they're just sweated, you know, I can see a bit of colour coming into them, and I've just given you some
curry?
Yeah, some fresh coriander powder, and just toast them off very lightly. Once we get a bit of flavour from the shallots, bit of, you know, caramelised sugars, the spices are toasted, everything else just goes in. I like fresh ginger in my dishes.
Yep,
absolutely beautiful. Yep, that in, followed by some fish stock.
They talk a lot in Southeast Asian cooking about cooking things out until they're aromatic.
Yeah.
You cook a lot with your nose in Southeast Asian food.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you can take that into any part of your cooking. You know, if you spend, we were talking about prep before, if you spend the time developing the flavours, you're going to get a better end result. You know, and there's the fundamental of European cooking, spending hours over a sauce.
At the base.
Yeah, exactly. So you do the same here, even though it's quick and simple, you spend 10 minutes making sure those shallots are brown and the coriander powder's toasted off. You know, you're a good way to getting it started. So I just let the fish stock just, you know, reduce by a third, concentrate the flavour a bit, and that's just going to reinforce the salmon, you know, the fish flavour when we get it there. So we'll go in with the coconut milk, and then everything else can pretty much just go in now. And
At this point you've made a really tasty sort of broth.
Yeah, that's all. We're just developing these flavours, layering it up, getting some nice fresh vibrancy in it. Because the coconut milk and the salmon together, you know, they're rich flavours. So you notice that the other ingredients I'm putting in have got really a nice citrus bite to it. I'll just bruise the lemongrass and we'll just put it all in now, and it's pretty much done. Just my kaffir lime leaves, I don't bother chopping them, just crush them a bit. Yeah. And in they go.
So that once the fish comes out of this poaching liquor, you could use that.
Oh no, that's the full.
It's a great base. For
that's
a
like
or...
once the fish is cooked, I just pour the sauce over the fish with a bit of rice or a bit of quinoa, brown rice. You know, if you're on a health kick.
So what you're looking for once the salmon goes in and you've poached it is just that under a little bit of force, you get a little bit of separation between the muscle fibers.
That's the best way that I go, you know, in the deepest part, you know, if you want to use utensils, I just give it a bit of a poke and it adjusts as it comes apart, the salmon's cooked. If you're a bit iffy about fish, you know, I know people like fish as they are with steaks, well done. You know, you're going to feel it, it's going to be quite firm, there's going to be no give to it at all.
And this is a good one for that as well, because you've got that nice liquid broth. If you do overcook it, if you're one of those people that likes it well cooked, it's still going to be nice and moist, isn't it? Because you've got this broth to back it
Yeah,
up.
exactly. That's going to be the moisture to it. If you cook it out of that, it's going to be that. We'll just reduce that to a simmer now, gentle simmer. Our beautiful salmon fillets. Oh, absolutely, they're the freshest fillets I've had in a long time.
Huon Aqua, mate, we get our salmon from. A great little salmon producer down here in Tasmania in the south of the state. And they do a very good job with their salmon.
That's absolutely beautiful. So they just sit there now, and just the residual heat, as you'd know, would nearly cook those through. But just keep the heat on for 10 to 12 minutes.
Yep.
So they cook to your liking, and serve it up.
Mate, thank you for coming in once again, showing me another great Australian dish. I never thought I'd say that when we had all of those Asian flavours in there. But you've educated us again on the top end of Australia.
Well, it is the top end, and it's Australia in general. We are, as you said, Australasia.
Yep.
We are the gateway to Asia, and Asia is the gateway to Australia as well. So why not use the ingredients that grow naturally here?
Thanks, mate.
Thank you very much.